Hi everyone, thank you for watching. So I'm so excited for today's video because this has been the most requested video ever, and it is how I apply false eyelashes. This video has been requested since I started my channel. People have started to ask and they just keep asking and keep asking, and you ask on Snapchat and you ask on Instagram, and I've kept putting it off because even though I love false eyelashes, I've been wearing them for years, I wear them so often, I was very hesitant about filming one simply because I don't have any professional lighting yet. I only use natural lighting, and I just thought when you zoom up close, your lighting kind of goes weird, and I was like, I don't know if people are even gonna be able to see what I'm doing, is it gonna look okay? But another reason is because I'm not hands-free. When I do things, I have to hold a mirror and do it because I don't have any mirrors or anything in front of me, so I have to hold a mirror, and I wasn't really good at doing it one-handed. I was better at applying lashes and liner and everything in an actual mirror where I had both hands. But I've been practicing, I've been working hard on getting used to the one-handed, and I think I'm doing better. But also when it comes to lighting and things, I need to film this video. So many people have asked for it. I can't just keep putting it off. And I planned out how the video would go, and then I started watching other people's eyelash tutorials too. I was like, most of the time it's talking. I want to tell you guys my tips. That's what you want to know. To put an eyelash on only takes a minute, but the majority of this video is going to be me talking to you and me telling you my tips and my practices and how I do things. And then yes, I will actually show you how I put an eyelash on, but for the majority it's just going to be me talking to you. It's just a regular video. So I'm like, I should not have been this scared of this video and put it off for so long, so I apologize, but I've finally gotten my ish together and we are gonna do some false lash practice. I have been doing lashes for a very long time. I've worn them for years. I've always wanted eyelash extensions, and instead I just always went out and bought eyelashes, so I've been putting them on for years and years and years, but they still sometimes give me trouble. I'm not always perfect at putting on lashes, but I am happy to share with you guys my best tips, my best practices, what I do that helps me get my eyelash game looking good. So if you would like to see how I apply false lashes and my tips and tricks, please keep watching. One tip that I have that might seem kind of random, but I've run into this before, is that I actually apply the false lashes, and I feel like most people apply false lashes after you have finished your eye makeup. I know that sometimes that can get frustrating because you'll get your eyeshadow game together and you'll get your wing liner, and then you come in with eyelash and the glue does funny things and the adhesive is going places and your lashes don't look good and you just want to take it off and start all over. But really, best practice is do your eye makeup first and then do your lashes last. It just makes more sense when you're actually putting on your makeup that you're not fighting to put shadows on over a band. It also is pretty difficult to put on eyeliner over a band. I do it sometimes, but really just with a liquid liner. Using any other liner over a band really doesn't work out. So that's one of my tips, is after you do your eye makeup, then you come in with your lashes. Another tip that I have is if you're a beginner, I would say go pretty heavy on the eyeliner and use a dark eyeliner. That's one of my tips because the liner can kind of help hide the band, and it can also kind of give you a guide of where to put the lashes, if that makes any sense. But really the reason why I use it is to kind of help hide the band. So I'll put the eyeliner down first, like I say. I'll come in, I'll put the lash down, and not every time, it just kind of depends what my adhesive is doing usually, is I will come back in with a liquid liner, a thicker liquid liner, and put that over the band to help disguise that lash band even more, because we don't want the lash band to be super obvious. You want it to be as camouflaged as you possibly can. So one of the biggest tips that I have whenever anyone asks me what's the one tip that you could give with false eyelashes, my biggest tip is to trim the eyelashes. So the eyelashes that I'm going to put on today are these Ardell Wispies. They look like this. And can you see how long those lashes are? Your eyes are not that long, typically. So you are not going to use this entire eyelash. So what you want to do is trim them, and I will actually go through how I trim them when I get into the actual demo part of it. For so long, I would not trim my eyelashes. It would make my eyelashes look weird. It would make my eyelashes be uncomfortable. It just would not feel right on the eyes, and I just think it makes your eyes look even more unnatural. So you definitely want to trim the lashes. Number one tip I have when it comes to eyelashes: trim those suckers. So what I like to do when it comes to my eyelashes is I like to use an eyelash adhesive. The two that I use the most often, this one is from Duo. I know this is a pretty common one that people use, and this is in their dark tone, and it's really like a dark gray. And the other one that I really like is from Kiss, and it is their black adhesive. It looks like this. I get both of mine on Amazon, and they're fairly inexpensive. I think they might also be at like drugstores and things like that, but I usually just order mine off Amazon. I like adhesive more than I like eyelash glue. The reason being is every single time that I have tried out eyelash glue, I cannot get the lashes to stick. Either right away they will not stick on, and like every time that I press them down they would pop back up, and I'm like, okay. Or else I would like sort of get them on there, and then within an hour, like I remember one time very vividly using a glue, going out with friends. We were going on a party bus, left my house, went and picked up a friend, got to the party bus location, and she's like, your eyelash. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I had brought the glue with me, but I'm like, why would I glue this back on? Like, clearly glue does not work. And so I just had to forego my lashes for that night, which never makes me happy. But in all the times that I have tried to use eyelash glue, it does not work for me. So that's why I 100% prefer to use adhesive. For some reason, it just works better. These are my two favorite ones. I can find them on Amazon and link them below, but Duo and Kiss. Again, I like the ones like how these are both, this is black and this is like a dark gray. Again, that helps kind of like hide the band as well. And sometimes if you put too much adhesive on, or you don't let it get completely tacky before you put the eyelashes on, when you actually stick them on, that adhesive can still like shine through. And if you have a white, it's gonna look very, very unnatural. So if you have a dark tone, it's a little bit easier to mask. And then especially if you put like a liquid liner on top of it, it helps camouflage it even more. So I definitely suggest using dark tone adhesives. So like I mentioned there when I was talking about the adhesive getting tacky, that is like probably like my tip number 2 when it comes to eyelashes is don't just immediately put the adhesive on the eyelash and then stick it on your eye. Most people say to wait at least 30 seconds. I probably wait more towards like 50 to 60 seconds because I really want to make sure that I'm not just putting like something super wet onto my eye, because that's what's going to get things funky. You're going to get adhesive everywhere. You just do want to make sure that it is tacky. So I suggest, 30 to 60 seconds, wait, blow on the eyelash. If you're putting it on yourself, try to make sure that gets a little bit tacky before you put it on, because that's really going to help save you. You don't want it to be dry because then it's not going to stick to your eyelid. You just want it to be nice and tacky. So just take a breath, just wait a while. I usually like do a dance or like have a snack while I'm waiting for the adhesive to get tacky, but make sure you do that. Recently, I've really come to prefer putting on my eyelashes with tweezers. This is a pair of tweezers that I have. I just got them from CVS. They are like super, super sharp tweezers. I used to prefer my finger, but I was finding that it was just kind of like almost like ruining my eye makeup, especially if I had like a little bit more dramatic makeup on, because I was like getting my fingers everywhere in there and it was kind of becoming more of a hassle. It took me a little bit to get used to the tweezers. I would say if you're a beginner, your fingers are probably going to be easier, but I'm glad that I switched to a tweezers because I have found it to become easier with time. It was not easy at first to make the change, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit better now. I like using the really sharp ones because I just feel like I can get right in there and grab like the inner corner and put it down, or I can grab the outer edge and really bring it over, and it's just really been helping me. So I prefer to use the tweezers, but sometimes when I'm in a jam, I'll use my fingers, It's really going to be what your preference is, if you want to use fingers or if you want to use a tool. Them on, I try not to go too far in the inner corner. I try to make sure that I focus more on like the outer edge, which I think looks like a little bit more natural when you have like the outer lashes are like the really like full and fluttery effect. Because if you get it too far into the inner corner of your eye, it's going to be very uncomfortable, and it's probably going to like poke you frequently. I've done it several times. You're probably going to do it too. I'm probably going to do it again in the future. But it also just can kind of look unnatural unless you get it in like the most precise, perfect spot. The band is probably going to be too high for the inner corner, and then it's going to look weird and it's going to be uncomfortable. A lot of times I'll focus the inner corner to start, like right after, you know, you have like those little baby inner corner lashes. I start the inner corner of the lash right after those lashes. So I'm focusing the majority of the lash on the outer edge, and I think it looks more natural and it feels more comfortable. So that's something to think about too when you're trimming them, is aligning them up exactly where you want that to be. In regards to that too, another tip is to like try to do your best to line up your lashes, and sometimes this can be hard, especially when you have different shaped eyes. My eyes are two different shapes, so when it comes to like winged liner and lashes, it sometimes can be very odd because I have like one very almond eye and one eye that's not very almond shaped. So it's very different when I do my eye makeup because my shapes are so different. But I just try to pay attention because sometimes when I put the lash down, it goes where I didn't expect it to go. And I can try to fix it as best as I can, but sometimes I'm like, well, the inner corner is a little farther this way. So when you put this lash on, you want the inner corner to be a little farther this way. You just want to pay attention to where that first lash went so you can line it up with the second lash so you can look the most natural. Right. Another tip that I have is to put mascara on before you put on your lashes. You know, definitely put mascara on the bottom lashes, but don't forget about your top lashes. I do this often and it gets me really angry. But you want to put mascara on your top lashes because it's going to help your natural eyelashes blend into the false eyelashes. You also don't really want to put mascara on false eyelashes. It's not going to be the end of the world if you do, and I still do it sometimes, especially when I forget to put mascara on my lashes before I put on lashes. But yes, it's just helping to like blend the natural and the falsies together so you don't have like your actual lashes. Like some people have lashes that kind of like almost stick straight out, and then when you put a lash on and you haven't put mascara, you can still see your natural lashes like sticking out and then these big false lashes, and it can look kind of funky. Also, it just helps for the like longevity of the lashes. They say that lashes will last longer if you don't put mascara on them, which, you know, yes, I definitely can see that. They can start to look more like crummy and icky the more that you're leaving mascara on them, because it's not like you're taking eye makeup remover to your false lashes. Am I right? But a lot of times what I will do if I do put mascara on my lashes beforehand, sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take the very edge of the mascara wand and like touch it right at the base of my lashes, if that makes sense, and that kind of can help merge the two together so they look a little bit more natural, and that way I'm not putting mascara all over my lashes. It's just kind of right on the base there to help blend the two together. And also a lot of times I'm someone who wears like, not every day, but I like to wear more like dramatic lashes, and sometimes if I put mascara over on top of them, I just kind of am starting to look a little bit silly. So you usually don't need mascara with false lashes, but that's just another tip. When you practice and you're starting to begin, do something very simple with your eye makeup. You know, don't put a lot into it if you're just simply going to be practicing, but also along those same lines is just practice. So that's what I did with lashes, and that's what I've done with wing eyeliner. Like before I go to bed at night or something, like I have nowhere to go, I have nowhere to be, I would take the lashes and I would practice putting them on and practice moving them around. Same thing with wing liner. I would just practice at night because then I can just wash it off and forget it ever happened, and that really does help. Like practice really will help you. So if you really do want to get it down, that's a suggestion that I have. You know, don't be afraid to take them off and start over, but also if you really do want to try to get better, just practice when you have some free time on your hands and you want to try to get the technique down. And then my other just big tip that I have is just be patient. Lashes can be hard, lashes can be tricky. Know that you might get them on perfectly one day and the next day it's not going to be pretty at all, but just try to be patient and just remember it's just makeup, it's just fun. We can take it off, we can start over, no worries, don't get upset about it. Just have fun with it. Jump into the demo of it. So like I said, we're going to use these Ardell Wispies. Ardell is one of my favorite brands of lashes. You can get them at the drugstore. They're extremely inexpensive. They have a really thin band, so they're really easy to work with, especially for beginners. I think they are so comfortable, but they also have so many different styles. They have natural and glamorous, super fluffy. Wispies are some of my absolute favorites. The demi wispies are also really nice. I like the glamours. I just got some naturals. The double ups are so cool for a dramatic look. Ardell is like really the way to go. So what I'm going to do first is put it on my eye and trim it up. So one more quick thing that I want to show you guys. If you can see by the lashes, this has less lashes over there, where on the other corner it has a fuller lash. You want to pay attention to that because when you trim your lashes, you don't want to trim on the short side because that is to mimic your inner corner of your lashes where your lashes aren't as full. So you know that this lash is going to go on this eye because it matches with your inner corner. So when you cut your lashes, make sure you start at the fuller end because then if you cut the inner corner lashes, then you're not going to have as much of a natural look. I've done it before. I swear to you, I have done it before and I've gotten so mad, but it just kind of makes you look a little funky. So make sure that when you trim the lashes, you trim on the side that has the longer lashes and just make sure you line up the inner corner on the lashes, inner corner of your eye. Got it. So I'm going to take the lash, I'm going to set it where I think I want the inner corner to go, and then you see how much lash is right here. I'm going to trim all of that. So make sure it's lined up. I'm going to grab it right there, take it off. I'm going to trim about, see where that tweezer is? I'm going to trim that much off and then come back on and make sure we got it good. So when trimming the lash, I recommend trimming like starting at the band versus trying to come up through the lashes. I've tried doing that before, it's just trickier. So I'm going to start at the band and just do a little cut. Put these back on and just make sure they look good. I think I'm actually gonna trim just a little bit more. I like having them trimmed up. And I also watched Lester Look's eyelash video, which was super helpful, and she liked them pretty trimmed up too. And I was like, you know what? That is actually what I like going for. It just really does make them more comfortable. So I'm just gonna cut off just a tiny bit more. It'll get nice because, you know, obviously this is a brand new pair of lashes that I wanted to try with you guys, but once you have them trimmed, then you won't have to do this every time, you know, obviously. Okay, let's try again. And you guys see how I'm already like, how even just to like measure them up, I'm coming from the top and placing them down. That's how I apply them as well. Okay, so I like the looks of this. So I'm gonna use my Kiss Black Adhesive. And when it comes to putting the adhesive on, I like to start small and go bigger if needed, because if you put like a huge like goop on, it's not going to be cute. Take it and I start in the center is where I like to start. Run it all over the band. You want a good amount of adhesive on there, but you don't want it to be so gloopy that it's going to take like forever to dry and then cause you a mess. And then I'm really going to focus this one on the outer corners because you always want to make sure the outer corners stick. They tend to give the most trouble. Now we wait. You can blow on it, you can shake it, you can dance, but I will be back in a hot second and we will put this bad boy on. Guys, so we've let the adhesive dry. You can see with the tweezers, I'm holding it like right in the center of the lash, and then I'm gonna come down just like as I was doing as I was like getting ready to trim them. I'm gonna come from the top and set them down onto my lash. Let's do it. Okay, get the middle on first. I press it down with my fingers to get the middle to stick. And then I'll take the tweezers, I'll come to the outer edge and just check the inner corner. Pop it on, and then I just take my fingers and kind of push everything together. There's one eye. Let go. Did that go okay? I think that went okay. Let's move on to the next one. See how much we need to trim? Like, can you imagine having your eyelash look like that? Like, it's not gonna look good, it's gonna be uncomfortable. This is why we trim. So I'm gonna grab approximately where we're gonna trim. Look again, just to be sure. Okay, and then this is a good time to kind of like look and see, are they gonna match up? Oh, it's pretty good. Okay, so now we'll put the adhesive on. Again, when you're first putting the adhesive on, think start small and build up. Make sure you get the inner and outer corners good, because those are the trickiest parts. And then let the adhesive get tacky. And then we'll do it again. And cross our fingers that it goes as smoothly as the first one. Coming in from the top. Setting it down. I'm gonna take my inner corner and bring it over. And then again, tap it down with my finger. Do the same thing for the outer corner. Make sure we're all connected. Now we got 2 lashes on, and I hope that was helpful for you guys. Guys, so I got the lashes on, and now would be time where I would examine them and see, like, do I need to put the liquid liner on top to help hide the band? It's pretty well camouflaged to me, like if you guys can see. I can't really see the band. I can't really see any adhesive. Usually with first time lashes, you don't need it because they're just so like new and fresh and clean and yummy. I love first time lashes, but usually you don't need it. But if so, a really good liner that I recommend to go on top of a lash band is the NYC Liquid Liner. It's basically the only thing that I use my NYC Liquid Liner for because I find it really hard to work with. But over a lash band, it works good. One more tip that I wanted to mention to you, and it's about like wear for your lashes. I really do suggest after you use them to make sure you take the adhesive off the band. You're going to want to do this anyways the next time you go to put those lashes on, but the sooner that you can get that adhesive off, I think it's better for your lashes, and definitely because you will have adhesive sticking to the lashes, it'll be like kind of clumpy. I just take my tweezers and pick it off the lash. You want to be very careful and not go too fast because sometimes you can actually take the individual lashes right off a lash strip. Done that too, but just be careful, take your time, but get that adhesive off. You do not want to put adhesive on top of old adhesive. That's not going to do you any favors. Just make sure you're keeping your lashes clean because that'll help them last longer as well. But other than that, that is everything that I have for this video. I really hope this helped you guys. I know I don't have like the best lighting yet or the best setup yet, but really I just wanted to share with you guys my best tips and practices for putting false lashes on. Don't be afraid of it. Lashes is just like wing liner. They can smell your fear. Just be confident, be patient, take it slow, trim your lashes, wait for your adhesive to get tacky, and then calmly place them on your eyelash. You can do it. But thank you guys so much for requesting this video. If you do have any other video requests, please do leave them in the description box below. Do not forget my 2,000 subscriber giveaway is going on now. I will leave the link to that video explaining all of the products that you will be winning, plus how to get entered and all that good stuff. That will be down in the description box below. Do not forget to get entered. You will not want to miss that. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and you found it helpful. I would love to hear any of your guys' tips down below, or if there's any tip that is like your favorite one or one that you practice as well. Please leave it in the comments below. One of my favorite things that I've seen on my social media when people have asked me questions about my eyelash practice is other people have chimed in and given their best advice and practice. That's amazing. Let's all work together. I absolutely love seeing that. It makes me so happy. So leave your best tips and practices below as well. I hope you will subscribe before you go, and I will catch you guys real soon in my next video. Bye!